Hi guys. So I wasn't actually going to do this video, but I think it could be really beneficial to people who've got these symptoms and problems. So this video is going to be based on acid reflux and a procedure that I had done, which was called Nissen fundoplication. Back in 2018, I was in excruciating pain, and they didn't know what it was. So they did a lot of tests, a lot of scans, everything you can think of, to find out what it was. So every test was coming back normal, and it was quite embarrassing really, because I was getting all this pain and everything was coming back normal. So yeah, I bet they were like, what the hell, you're fine. So anyway, this pain continued to the point where it was just ridiculous. I'll just explain to you a few things. I've just jotted a few things down on a piece of paper because I am going to be talking quite a lot. So I had a lot of pain in my upper GI, which was just terrible. So I suffered with a lot of heartburn, a lot of discomfort all up here, a lot of indigestion, a lot of sickness, and a lot of reflux. I couldn't eat anything without being sick or without feeling sick. It was just absolutely horrendous. So with these symptoms that I was getting, obviously I was 18 then, so it was quite worrying that I was experiencing all of these things. So I had a camera down, endoscopy, where they pour a camera down your throat, into your esophagus, and then obviously blow up your stomach, and they just insert it and see what's going on down there. So I waited a long time to have this camera. As you know, everything's a waiting list, and obviously because of COVID, it was actually really bad timing, because COVID actually hit when I was supposed to have all these tests done, so that sort of slowed down the process, which was really annoying. So I had the camera in 2020, so I had to wait a long time. So I had it done, and they found that I had a hiatus hernia. So hiatus hernia is when your stomach muscle will actually come up into your chest muscle, so it stops food from digesting. And it causes a lot of discomfort. Some people can actually cope with the pain, but no, not me. Obviously no. So so after I had this camera done, they basically spoke about me having surgery, and like I said, some people who have these hiatus hernias can deal with them, and some people can have no side effects with them and no bad symptoms, but no, not me. I had every symptom going, and apparently it was caused by heavy lifting, which was really hard to believe, because I haven't lifted anything heavy in my life. So we spoke about surgery, left the hospital. I was actually quite glad that they had found something, because it's quite embarrassing when you're having all these tests done and everything's coming back as normal. People probably think, you're a hypochondriac. I mean, when there's something wrong with your body, and when something's not right, and I just knew straight away. So I came from hospital, and I was a bit more positive. I sort of had a list of what things to eat and not to eat, and certain things that I could do. So that was in 2020. So then my symptoms got really bad. I actually like went from, I put a lot of weight on in COVID. I think I went up to like 16 stone, and I actually went down to like 11 stone with this illness because I weren't keeping anything down. I was just vomiting all the time. I couldn't keep nothing down at all. It came to the point where I couldn't even keep water down. It was that bad. Or any fluids, or, you know, nothing at all. So anyway, I kept going back and forth to the doctors, which actually was about probably twice a week. And yeah, I was put on this list for surgery. But before this surgery, you have to have a lot of tests done to show that you were actually like beneficial for this surgery. So you needed to have like proof and evidence of real bad acid reflux test results to be able to have this surgery, which is like good because it shows that they're not actually just doing these treatments for anyone and on anybody. So yeah, so I had to have a lot of scans done to show that I didn't have any gallstones or anything, because they did think at one point that I could have had gallstones, but I didn't. Everything was clear. So the first main test that I had to have done was called a pH manometry test. So it's where they insert a tube into your nose and down your esophagus, and it goes into your gullet. But you have to have this test for 24 hours. And you come home with like a little monitor thing, which is like really ugly. Yeah. And this was just really uncomfortable. But yeah, I had to have it done to be able to show, you know, how much acid was actually being prevented in my body and coming up into my throat. So yeah, it took a long time to have that done. I only had that done back last year, at the end of last year, and I had that done in Cardiff Heath Hospital. And yeah, they were just absolutely like amazing. When I was down there, I had to have another test done, which was done there and then. So it was a thicker sort of tube. Like, it's not as big as a hose pipe, but it was just, yeah, it was just so much like discomfort. But basically you had to, the person inserted it, the specialist, I don't know what to call them. The specialist inserted it, and you had to take like little sips of water, and basically this like monitor thing would like pick up how weak your stomach muscles are, and like if anything is coming back up into your throat. Yeah, so anyway, when I had this inserted, it was about 10 o'clock in the morning. It was supposed to stay in for 24 hours, but unfortunately it came out by 1 o'clock. You could eat normal with this tube down your throat. You had to eat normal. You had to eat anything that would show that you've got these bad symptoms. So I think I actually had a McDonald's, and like, yeah, I was really like unwell after it. I had a lot of pain and just discomfort, and yeah, not nice. So anyway, it actually came out, and I had to pull it out myself in the house, which was really like disgusting. But yeah, I will actually try to upload some photos of the tests that I've had done, and I'll also upload some photos of like scars from my operation, and yeah, just to show everyone. So yeah, that's one test that I had to have done. And then the next day you had to take it back, even though it came out within like 2 hours, 3 hours. You had to take it back the next day and then wait for the results to come back of this test. And then you had to wait for these results to be looked at by like a gastroenterologist. And yeah, I think it took like a few months for it to come back. And I just knew straight away, like, that it was going to come back as high, that there was a lot of acid in my body, because I know how unwell I was at this time. And yeah, so that's one of the tests I had to have done. Then I also had to have where you swallow a dye in your, you swallow this dye and you have like a scan then, and it like sort of all lights up and anything like shows. So yeah, that was another thing. So yes, there was a lot of like tests that I had to have before I could actually have the thumbs up for this procedure. So the Nissan Fund application is actually, I haven't actually wrote anything down about this, but I researched so much about it, I think I do know. So basically, your stomach is pushed up by the hiatus hernia. They pull it back down into place and they insert like a sphincter, and then they wrap it and they make it sort of smaller and they put it back down into place so you can obviously digest things and, you know, be able to like basically cope with these symptoms that I had. Because, you know, acid reflux never tends to actually go, but it does tend to like fix it a bit and make it sort of less manageable, which is really all that I wanted. I mean, I wish I could just press a button and yeah, never have it again, but yeah, life's not like that. So anyway, in the meantime, I was put on a lot of tablets. I was put on lansoprazole, omeprazole, and nothing was working at all. I was given like Gaviscon, Rennies, like everything you could actually think of. Like, my cupboards are still full of all the medication. And then I was finally put on esomeprazole, which sort of helped the acid, but didn't help the pain and the sickness and the discomfort. So yeah, so anyway, I was put on the list for surgery, and I've actually had the surgery done. I had it done on the 27th of May. The surgery, all in all, was great. I was the first one on the list in the morning. So I went down at 10 o'clock and I was actually out about 1 o'clock. I've got a few like keyhole scars, nothing major, and I had a really like fast recovery. I think like in 3-4 days I was like, well, trying to hoover the house, but yeah, I don't think I was supposed to be doing that. But yeah, 6 weeks was the recovery time. So I obviously had to like stop my job because obviously I do massage and you couldn't lift anything heavy, and yeah, you couldn't eat like solid food. You had to eat like a liquid diet. So I was eating like baby food and like smoothies and stuff like that. It was disgusting. But yeah, my appetite came back pretty fast, and yeah, I was actually able to like eat a full meal without being sick, which is like, was like heaven to me, because I'm so used to being sick after food, and it's just terrible. Like, it had a massive impact on my body. I was so drained all the time from it, like, because I weren't keeping any like nutrients in my body. I wasn't having any like sort of you know, boost, no energy or nothing. So I was constantly drained. I was constantly tired all the time. My teeth like were affected big time because of the acid that was like coming up into my throat, into my mouth. So I had to visit the dentist like a lot of times to obviously check that, you know, I didn't have any teeth falling out, and touch wood, I never did. But I know some people have actually, you know, had teeth falling out from this sort of thing, and yeah, no. So anyway, yeah, I had the surgery done. It was, you know, great. Like, they were absolutely amazing. Mr. Escoffier was my surgeon. He was absolutely amazing. I was so worried to have this operation done because I'm so young. A lot of older people tend to have this sort of surgery. Not a lot of younger people, but my hernia was actually really, really big for my age. And like, you know, like I've explained, my symptoms really bad. But the surgery was like absolutely great. I've had my like follow-up and everything has been like great. Don't get me wrong, I was in a lot of pain after the surgery, which after any operation you're going to be in pain. But yeah, my symptoms have been like amazing, but it feels so weird to be able to keep like a full meal down. I have to be very careful in what I eat. One thing that I used to love was steak, and I used to eat that quite a lot, but when I was actually suffering with all these symptoms, I ate steak and I actually choked on it, so I'll never eat steak ever again. Like, I'm sad. But yeah, anyway. So, yeah, so all in all, it was actually, like, really good. But it was a long, you know, waiting list and a long journey to actually have this surgery done. But anyone who's got these symptoms, and who's got acid reflux, I would therefore recommend, this surgery, because any surgery is trial or error, but I was just so happy to try anything to fix me. I mean, it hasn't completely fixed me, but it's taken away a lot of my symptoms. I still have to take my tablet every day, esomeprazole, to prevent that backlash of acid. But I would therefore recommend this treatment 100%. Yeah, so, and also I just want to mention as well, obviously, when I was getting these symptoms, obviously when I was visiting the doctors, they thought that I had an eating disorder, but which was like really concerning, because I weren't keeping any food down at all. But my body was getting so used to being sick and rejecting food that it was just becoming so normal. It was just like everyday thing, like it was routine. So yeah, but you know, I had a lot of help in that respect. You know, because eating disorders are very, you know, a really bad thing to go through. But yeah, luckily, you know, I didn't actually have that. So that was a good thing. But yeah, you know, if anyone's got any questions or anything about, you know, symptoms or, you know, sort of anything really that I've mentioned in this video, then, you know, don't be afraid to ask any questions, because sometimes it's good to speak about your problems, and especially to someone who's sort of been through what you're going through. But I will try to upload a few photos of like some procedures I had to have done, you know, and like some scars from afterwards. But yeah, everything has been great so far, and it is now July, and it has been nearly 3 months since the operation, and it's just gone so fast. But yeah, it's just totally changed my life. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions, then don't be afraid to ask me. And I just hope that this helps anyone who's in the same position as me, or was. Thank you, bye.